Hey everybody, you're listening to the Hisessions Hawai podcast where we talk about everything local and beyond. I'm John Yamasato, your host. Joining me today is Kyle Shimabukuro and Devon Nekoba.
Howdy.
Before we begin, let me remind all of our listeners the ways they can stay in touch with the show: Facebook, Instagram, and X, all at Hisessions. You can go to SoundCloud, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts to listen to the podcast. And of course, you can email us at hisessions@yahoo.com. If you'd like to help the show get more music on our channel, please go to patreon.com and donate. No new patrons this week, but this is like the third podcast we've done in 1 week. Actually, we did have a new patron, but it's one of those like free member patron guys.
Oh.
That was a thing,
okay.
We've been doing a lot of podcasts lately. Yeah. Okay, Kupu Kupu Landscaping, Landscape Architects. You can call Kevin Yokomura, 808-722-8685 for a free estimate, or go to kupukupulandscaping.com. I'd like to thank Kupu Kupu Landscaping for all of their support. Of course, Fort Ruger Market. I did have some poke the other night.
I know, you cheated.
I know, so I kind of avoided the poke today. But play day, that's my go-to.
And our guest date, the Rugerlicious.
Yeah, guest date, Rugerlicious. Yep. And I saw a friend of mine at Ruger Market because she listens to the podcast and decided to go to Ruger Market today.
There you go.
I was
that's why she was there.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And so I was recommending different plates and stuff. They were thinking between the F and the I, and I told them, well, the F is the Lao Lao. It's just a little bit heavier. I is the chicken long rice. So, you know, you get depends on how hungry you are.
Oh, you know the alphabet.
I know all the plates already. Yeah. That's how long we've been doing it for Ruger Market. And, of course, Olelo Online, Kaliko Beamer Trap. Thank you so much, oleloonline.com, for supporting the channel. If you are interested in learning how to speak Hawaiian or would just like to catch up on some mele and the translations or just learning what they say, visit oleloonline.com. You can do it from anywhere in the world. And there is even one-on-one with Kaliko if you want to learn how to speak Hawaiian.
Okay.
Hey, you got to bring in that cap, huh?
What cap?
That cap that you got that was the sculpture wooden high.
Oh, it's not. I don't have it yet. He's going to fly it in. Like, he's coming to Hawaii and going to bring it to us.
I would love to see it.
Come on the pod then?
Yeah, he's going to come on the pod.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob. Cool. Yeah, Bob's going to bring it to us.
Time. I know we have to introduce our guest, but what is the deal with your shirt?
All right, first of all, let me show it to our audience. This is an authentic Iolani alumni T-shirt.
Yeah, you get the eye on your sleeve.
I got the eye. One team, and I've been made an official honorary Iolani alumni.
How do you think Kaiser High School feels about this?
Well, I still
don't
have.
think he cares.
I still have roots at Kaiser High School, but I mean, come
your
on.
kids don't go to Iolani.
No, they don't.
Your wife never went to Iolani.
nobody
I don't
did.
understand the pride of
They
this.
gave him. He's an honorary alumni. They gave him that. They bestowed it on him.
Yeah.
with this shirt.
Yeah.
With the shirt. So as long as I have this shirt on, then I can say that I'm Iolani alumni. I take it off, I have to say Kaiser. But
Like Superman
I kept on.
in his
Yeah,
glasses.
exactly.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
sure.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm
Glad
very
you're
proud.
proud
I'm very
of
proud.
that.
Good for you.
I said this. We did a gig. PR did a gig at Iolani School, and I did say I always wanted to go to Iolani. I've always had a lot of respect for Iolani. Iolani was one of the few schools. I shouldn't say few schools. One of the first schools to hire Pure Heart, and because they have a very good jazz band, the kids really. Like I always thought, like, who the hell's going to listen to all this stupid Latin jazz we do? Not that Latin jazz is stupid. That's what I thought back then, you know?
Latin jazz?
Yeah, we do Latin jazz.
What?
You know, like Europa and stuff. Latin jazz, right?
Yeah.
Santana.
And I'm like, like, I don't get it. I didn't get it.
Okay.
But when we came to Iolani, those kids,
They ate it up.
they know how to play jazz. And so we were exciting to them. And so I've always had a lot of love for Iolani.
So that's the
congratulations,
key.
man.
Yeah.
Like what John does, and he will love you forever.
Yeah, flatter me, and it wins a lot of points. It really does.
And if Iolani cares to make me or Devon alumni, please send us a shirt.
I
too.
did go to summer school there.
Yeah, I see.
Well, that's what I said. I said I went to summer school for one summer.
Yeah.
If they gave me a shirt now, I would wear it.
I know you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. But chances are they would make you design it too.
yeah, that's true.
And I would be emceeing an event.
This is actually a pretty nice design.
It is nice.
I'm not
Yeah.
just kissing butt.
Yeah. No,
It's nice.
nice.
Well, you're kissing butt a little bit.
Yeah, I am, but
okay.
wait, hold on. I got to put my glasses back on. All right.
There's an order in which he has to do these things.
Yeah, because if you can't put the thing pinches your ears, so the glasses don't go on after. All right, okay, Glenn. So Glen Higa is here.
Glad you walked into this.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
So Glenn is let's see. I put you into the AI, and this is what came out. So you can say how accurate this is.
Oh boy.
Okay. It says Glen Higa is a motivational speaker, personal trainer, and president of the Hawaii Parkinson Association. Diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's disease in 2018 at age 47, he transitioned from a 20-year career in advertising and sports marketing to becoming a certified personal trainer in 2021, focusing on supporting people with Parkinson's through exercise programs like PWR Moves at Fitness Therapy Hawaii. As president of the Parkinson Association since 2023, he advocates for awareness, supports the Parkinson's community through education and fitness programs, and emphasizes living well with the condition. And it goes on to talk about community outreach, living in Honolulu, and all that kind of stuff. So did it kind of hit the nail on the head, or is there anything incorrect in those statements?
No, it's actually fairly surprisingly accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, spooky at AI.
I know. Yeah.
So far, it's been with all our guests pretty.
But it doesn't give you like the background. Were you born here? What school did you go to? All this kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So why don't we, before we get into the Parkinson's talk, because I gotta admit to you, I know very little about Parkinson's, and I did not do any research purposely so that I could kind of learn and ask questions organically on this podcast. But where are you originally from? Are you Honolulu born?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Honolulu, Kalihi to be specific. Went to Damien, proud Damien graduate.
All right, almost as good as Iolani, but
How's this guy? He's like acting like he private school.
Holy smokes, man.
It's better. No worries. Went on to UH Manoa, graduated in public relations journalism, and like the AI bot said, I had a 20+ year sales career. Everything from working at KHON TV, then went on to ESPN 1420, went to University of Hawaii after that. Became the general manager for Aloha Sports Properties, which was the advertising contractor for Aloha Stadium. And then went on to the Chamber of Commerce Hawaii, and I got diagnosed with Parkinson's right after that, and took a break to focus on my health until I went back to work in 2021 as a personal trainer.
So let's start here. So Parkinson's, I know it affects your muscles, but is it a brain disease or is it a musculature disease?
It's a brain disease. It's a neurodegenerative disease that basically what happens is that there's not to get too scientific on it, but there's a portion of your brain called the substantia nigra, and that part of your brain produces dopamine cells or dopamine neurons.
Okay,
so when those neurons don't communicate with each other and they die off, you lose the ability to produce more dopamine, which controls movement, which controls your moves. I mean, if you're a runner, you heard of the runner's high, right? Which is a dopamine hit. Mm-hmm. Some foods are naturally produce dopamine as well. Some people get very happy when they have more dopamine.
That's what I associate dopamine with, is happiness.
Yeah. So when people say, if you do something, you're going to kill brain cells, been there, done that. I have brain cells that are dead. Yeah.
Okay, and you were diagnosed in 2018.
Yes.
So what is the normal regimen for you nowadays?
Well, I put my 2 feet on the floor, and that's a good day to start. No, I take medication pretty much 6 times a day.
Okay.
And everybody's different. Everyone's medication. That's one thing about Parkinson's. Everyone's very unique in terms of their diagnosis.
It's just a matter of trying it and seeing where's the happy medium for that dosage. Yeah,
exactly. It's a trial and error kind of thing. So one way to look at it is when your doctor prescribes you medication. Imagine you're a car, and you got to go from Honolulu to Waianae. So your doctor has to figure out how much fuel to put in the car to get you to Waianae. So that's kind of like the medication. doctor has to figure out how much medication do you need per day to get you through the day, so you can do your activities of daily life, whether it's work, exercise, playing with your grandkids, playing with your kids, dinner with your wife, those kinds of things.
What is the side effect if you're under medicated, and also what is the side effects if you're over medicated, that you can see that there's no balance?
So for a lot of people, they have either dyskinesia, which is uncontrollable movements. So think Michael J. Fox, for example. Michael J. Fox has that real twitchy movements.
Yeah.
That's dyskinesia, and
But
that's
no medication can help him at this point?
the reason why I believe he's that twitchy is because he's over medicated. Yeah, because and it's no fault of his own, because when he was diagnosed 30 plus years ago,
Technology.
everything was just take medication. They didn't talk about exercise, nothing like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So what they found in recently is that they found out that exercise is the only thing that's been proven to slow down or delay the progression of Parkinson's. Medication doesn't do that right now. They're working on it, but right now all medication does is it lessens the symptoms, so you can do better throughout the day.
So you think that his lack of exercise or knowledge of that when he was diagnosed early is the effects of what it is now? He's probably dealing with atrophy and other kind of issues too.
Yeah. So, but again, they didn't know that exercise back then was a thing that could help slow down the progression. Yeah.
We talked about this during lunch, that I was going to ask you this question, but I'm just curious for myself too. When you got pre-diagnosis in 2018, what was symptoms that you saw in yourself that made you alarmed that something might be happening to you?
So basically, about in 2015, I noticed that I had pain in my wrists and I had stiff neck and stiff shoulders.
Okay.
So and a lot of people with Parkinson's go through this. It usually takes the average person about 3 to 4 years from first signs of symptoms to getting diagnosed. So I went to see my doctor, my primary doctor, and I had a little bit of a tremor at that time, and she said, I think you have an essential tremor. Does it go away when you do things? And I said yes. And so she said, yeah, you have an essential tremor. Don't worry about it. It's harmless. But if you want to see a neurologist, we can get that done for you. And I said, so I asked her, I said, do I have to go to see a neurologist? And she said, no, you don't have to. And I said, good, I'm not going. Local boy, right? No, go doctor. So 2 years of stiff neck and stiff shoulders. People were noticing that when I walked, I didn't swing my arms when I walked. I would shuffle my feet when I walked, and so we used to walk around Diamond Head every day, my girlfriend and I. And it was getting harder for me to walk, because of my legs felt so heavy, and I was shuffling my feet.
What did you write it off as at that point? You thought you were just getting older, or
yeah. And then we were painting our house around that time too, and so you're doing these motions and office worker, so using muscles that I don't use all the time either, right? So, and then I was still playing softball at the time, and I was falling a lot. And so my teammates were starting to notice. They're like and they thought
you drinking again?
Yeah, they just thought that I was getting old. So finally went back to my primary doctor again 2 years after that, and she said, okay, let's get you to a neurologist just to rule things out. So at that point, I thought, did I have a stroke? Did I have a brain tumor? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
And Parkinson's was not even a thought in my head. I didn't want to go on WebMD, didn't want to go to Dr. Google or anything like that. So in the meantime, she sent me to physical therapy to work out the shoulders, because originally she diagnosed me with a frozen shoulder. They took X-rays on my back, and they said, "Oh, you have a slipped disc on your back." Everything but Parkinson's. But when I went to work with this physical therapist, he said, I'm not a doctor, but I work with people who have Parkinson's, and you show a lot of the same symptoms as them. So it took me 6 months to get an appointment with a neurologist, and within 45 minutes of my visit with her, she said, "You have Parkinson's."
What is the telltale sign for them to know that?
So 3 things that they primarily look for. One is tremors, okay, but not everybody has tremors. Okay, so the second thing that they look for is bradykinesia, which is slow movements. Okay, so if you told me to pick up this, if I wasn't on medication and you told me to pick up this can, I would be like this. That's bradykinesia. But if you threw the can at me, I'd catch it.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So the reaction times is okay, but it's intentional movements that are slow. And the
So
third, and
it's when you're thinking about it, then it's faster movements.
no, when you
No,
when
the opposite.
The opposite?
Yeah, opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the third thing that they look for is they want to know is your history of falling. If you have a history of falling, because balance issues are a big issue. So those are the 3 things that they look for, and you can take what's called a DAT scan, and you can do an MRI, but nothing really. There's no real test that determines if you have Parkinson's other than a clinical diagnosis.
Okay. If you did see a neurologist earlier and paid more attention, would it have made a difference? Or you would just be getting medication and treatment earlier?
Yeah. So I would have been on medication sooner. The 2 years of time between the first inkling that something was wrong and the time that I officially got diagnosed would have been better quality of life for me.
Yeah, because you could be medicated and treated. Yeah.
Yeah. Because what happens is, at least in my case, and I know this happens for a lot of other people too, is they give you medication. And they tell you, take this medication. If it works, you have Parkinson's. If it doesn't work, we don't know what's going on. So it could be another form of Parkinsonisms, like we were talking about earlier, the parasupernuclear palsy.
Yep.
It could be anything. But the medication specifically works for people with Parkinson's.
Interesting.
All right, I have a couple questions. You got a couple questions?
Oh, my dad had Parkinson's. That's what he passed away from.
Yeah.
That's why, so we're having this conversation. I'm like, yep.
Huh.
Was your dad diagnosed early?
From the indications that we got, and from talking to our friend Reed, whose father had supranuclear palsy, the guess that I have, that we never really said, they never really said for sure medically, was that he said my dad had supranuclear palsy because his Parkinson's, it wasn't a long drawn out thing where it took 20 years. It was 5-6 years and then he was gone. So and that's what happened with Reed's dad. It was the same thing. It was Parkinson's on steroids. So the tremors were stronger. He had to take L-Dopa to try to calm things down. They would try to get him walking, but after a while the walking just doesn't work because he just physically could not move. And then once they get into the bed, then you're like, well, there's really nothing you can do. And at a certain point, everything was tremors. Everything was, he couldn't speak anymore. It's that progression. His progression was so fast that I'm looking at people like you, I'm looking at Michael J. Fox, and I'm going, what the hell? Like, I should have had my dad around for 20 more years. But that is not what happened.
It's a different form of
Well,
disease,
honestly, I'm glad you're here because that's something that I never actually got an answer to. And it was me sort of diagnosing because when our friend Reed...
Yeah, I remember I was there when Reed was explaining what his dad went through. And he went, wait a minute, my dad is going through the same thing. Maybe it's not this type that we thought of, but the type that his dad had.
But when they talked to the doctor, the doctors just kind of went, well, no, it's just Parkinson's. And I'm like, okay. And my understanding of it is that Parkinson's and supranuclear palsy were connected in some way and not a specific different offshoot of whatever this thing is.
Right. So basically there's an umbrella condition called Parkinsonism. And that includes Parkinson's disease, parasupernuclear palsy, Lewy body dementia, which is what Robin Williams had. multiple system atrophy, which is another condition, and there's one more. I think it's called basal cell something. Those are all connected. Those are all similar conditions. Parkinson's disease is treated with dopamine medication regimen. The other ones, Lewy body dementia does have some medication that can help, but for MSA and for PSP, there's really nothing you can take to help.
So PSP is what you're thinking your dad had.
That
super
supranuclear palsy.
Supranuclear palsy,
Just
yeah.
because
Is that a different?
No, that's the same.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because the onset was so quick.
Oh.
Like Reed's, our
Well,
friend
and
Reed,
it-
his dad, he went 5 years. In 5 years, he was gone.
Yeah.
Because it hit him so hard. It didn't matter what he took. It didn't matter how, you know what I mean? And the same thing kind of happened with my dad. So my mom, when my dad first got diagnosed with Parkinson's, my mom said, well, we got to figure this out. It's going to be 20, 30 years. We're going to, your dad's going to have to, we're going to have to get him on these regimens and all this stuff. And then all that just went out the window because it was so bad that we were just trying to figure out what was happening. It wasn't like, my dad's a local boy too, right? So it's not like you guys not trying. It's not like you guys don't want it to stop, or you'll do whatever you need to do to get it to end. My dad didn't want to die. He was really afraid of dying. And so the fact that he had this disease that was taking him from us was difficult for all of us. But it was really difficult for him because he was kind of the caretaker of our family. Sorry, I don't mean to make this into a
No.
session, but because he was the one who was taking care of the family, it really, really wrecked him that he wasn't that guy anymore. So it was a really weird transition. We're still sort of muddling through it now, I think, to a large extent. But it's nice to know that there are people out there in Hawaii who are actually doing this work and trying to get the information across to people. Because a lot of times they have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you see plenty of people out there and they're doing this or whatever. And the immediate thing you go to is, they got Parkinson's. And it may not necessarily be that.
Right.
It may be something else completely. But the idea that you can live your life, do your thing, exercise, take care of yourself, and these things will allow you to live a life that is at least as full as other people. You just got to be more intentional with what you do is really cool.
Yeah, so that's one of the main things that drives me as being the president of HPA is that I want people to know that whether you have Parkinson's or not, that we're perfectly able and not disabled. And so if you exercise and if you're on the right medication plan, if you have a positive attitude, that goes a long way to living well with any condition that you might have. But Parkinson's is not something to be afraid of. I know a lot of people in the Asian culture, they don't like to acknowledge any of these conditions. My mom was still alive today. First of all, she'd be proud of me. I know that. But second, she'd say, "Do you have to tell everybody that you have Parkinson's?"
Yeah.
And then she would tell me, don't tell your coworkers, don't tell your friends, don't tell your family, tell your aunties and your uncles, but don't even tell your cousins.
Is it mostly because they think you'll be treated differently, or?
I think it's just the Asian culture that just wants to keep everything within the family.
Yeah.
And
People don't need no.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in the native Hawaiian community, same thing in the Polynesian community as well. So that's kind of my challenge is to get people to acknowledge that they have Parkinson's, because if you don't acknowledge that you have it, you're not going to seek out any treatment or therapies that can make your life better.
Yes.
So that's the danger.
And
yeah.
I know we talked about it too a little bit during lunch, and then I think John, you asked that question if it was environmental or not, or if there's latest studies and stuff like that. What could
That
it
was not
be?
me, but it's a good question.
They don't know for sure. There is some anecdotal evidence that it is environmental. There's certain areas in the United States that are more hot pockets for for people with Parkinson's, like central Pennsylvania, southern Texas, Los Angeles, certain parts of Florida that are more susceptible just because there's more air pollution. And they've noticed that farm workers tend to have higher incidences of Parkinson's because of fertilizer, pesticides. They drink water from a well. But the only thing that they know that causes Parkinson's is genetics. And that's only accounts for about 10 to 15% of all cases are through genetics.
And because we're Japanese and we live in Hawaii, somebody in your family could have had Parkinson's and they just didn't tell anybody. And you go, wait, because my dad is pretty much the only one that I know of in our family who had Parkinson's. I'm sure uncles, aunties, somebody had it, but we just didn't ever really talk about it. I think my dad's the only one who they mentioned. And my dad actually in the Army, I found out during the course of him going through this is that he was in the Army and they had him working with Agent Orange. And like he worked in the section that did that stuff, that did all that experimental stuff, and they never actually explained to my dad, by the way, poisonous stuff. They just sort of went, okay, you guys go, move these barrels, do these things. And so it was a trip because my mom was like, man, if we had known, right, then that 30, 40 years later, well, actually longer than that these things would be affecting you. It's like, man, it's like, so when you're thinking about like Iraq, where they had those big burn pits, right? Just medication, ammunition, all kinds of stuff. They're just burning it in these giant pits. And all the guys who were working those burn pits are all having these neurological disorders because of the work that they did taking care of those pits. It's like, crap, man.
They're also noticing that head trauma does play a role in developing Parkinson's as well. So like Muhammad Ali, for example.
Right. Yeah.
So, and he actually had a form of Parkinsonism, not necessarily Parkinson's disease, but so they're, to that point, they're noticing that people are coming back from the Gulf Wars are coming back with head traumas from IEDs, the roadside bombs.
Man.
They're getting concussions. They're getting head traumas.
Yeah.
And they're starting to show signs of Parkinson's.
Oh man.
Well, let me ask this question. So, how does the exercise regimen help? In now you became a certified personal trainer, and you specifically focus on this. First of all, how does it help, and then what kind of exercises do you recommend?
Well, the first things first. The exercise I recommend is one that you'll do every day, and you'll enjoy. So as long as the main thing is you got
Fortnite don't count, John.
That's where my brain is going. I actually have a Fortnite question, but I'm representing Yolani today, so I want
Oh my God, killing me.
questions are.
Hey, what were you saying?
So I mean, movement is key. Movement is key. So if the science that they've done, the limited scientific data that they have, shows that you need to get your heart rate up about 80% of your maximum heart rate. So you have to find out what your max heart rate is, which is take the number 220 minus your age, and that's your max heart rate. And then you got to get to 80% of that, at least 150 minutes a week.
Has it been proven that exercise also can help you not get the disease?
That they haven't. That they're starting to do some studies on that as well to see how can you prevent from getting Parkinson's. And
Sorry,
I assume you're an active person, being in the sports industry and all that kind of stuff too, even before you're diagnosed, right?
Yeah.
So have your exercise regimen been the same, now being more, or pretty much the same routine you had from before?
I think it's now more tailored towards high intensity work for now. Before it was more like strength training, just lift weights and so forth. But now it's kind of more towards high intensity work, just to so I can get my heart rate up. Because when you get your heart rate up, your blood pumps faster, brings more oxygen into your bloodstream, which helps to produce more cells, more blood cells. That's kind of the scientific scientific.
Plus, yeah, I mean, when you run, right, the byproduct of that is dopamine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the thing.
Oh,
you
okay.
need
So
to-
that sorry, I was
Yeah.
distracted. So the activity you talk about is running.
Running or high intensity is like
Lifting,
yeah. So
Oh, okay.
so basically
treadmill
treadmill, elliptical,
Right.
short bursts of energy. They-
So you can run to your car, John.
You know,
It's parked far away.
I live such a sedentary lifestyle that I cannot even imagine the last time my heart rate went up.
There's a time that big roach came by. Huh?
Yeah, but you know what I mean, like the kind of strenuous exercising kind of thing.
Well, for a little while after Elisa was here, and she gave me the 20-minute speech.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So we had another personal trainer come by, and she said, she told me, John, just 20 minutes. Just try to do 20 minutes a day, you know, and then you can expand from there. But so I was running for 20 minutes, but
Really?
yeah, I'd go up the hill.
How many times?
I did it for like a couple weeks. It was right before this Iolani concert, and
Oh my
I didn't want to get sick for the. I didn't want to miss the Iolani
Yeah,
thing, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of stopped because I'm like, hey, you know, and then I never went back.
Well, you don't want to lose your status, yeah?
The exercise is supposed to help you not get sick, so you're actually
but-
supposed to continue
But
doing it.
Kyle and I, we have this thing, and I swear, every time I start working out, I get sick. Like I overdo it, and then I don't get enough sleep, and then I get sick. It's my fault. Because the only time that I was able to like get into a really good groove with working out, and not get sick and get enough sleep is when I was unemployed. Because I never had to go work, so I could just sleep as long as I wanted, you know.
He's looking at us going, "You're an excuse maker."
Like
for
you
heart."
guys, like you guys are all gonna die.
Get your ass out there and get your heart beating, man.
All right, so high intensity work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did a study. Yale University did a study last year where they and it's a small sample, but they took MRIs of 10 people before they put them through an exercise program, a 6-month exercise program, mapped out how much dopamine they had in their brain, put them through a high intensity exercise program for 6 months, took brain scans again after the 6 months, and they found out that they had increased natural dopamine in their brain. Yeah. So again, small sample size, but just 10 people, but still, it's
Well,
first-
it can't hurt.
first data.
Basically, is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is.
Can I ask, when you went to see a neurologist to get diagnosed, how did what did you have to go through to get that diagnosis when you seen that doctor? Because, I mean, even for me, like if you told me, oh, you better go check it out and go see a neurologist, as a guy that's afraid to go see anybody, I would want to know what that entailed. And if you go, oh, no, they just hook you up and then plug you in and check you out and you're done, I'll be like, oh, maybe I should check it out. You know what I mean? But what did you go
Not
through
gonna
when you
probe
first...
you.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's not that I have first-hand knowledge of this, but it's kind of like a DUI test.
Oh.
So they make you touch your nose, open up your hands, turn the wrists.
All
And
things
then-
which you're doing for us right now, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
And then the big key is walking up and down the hallway. Like all the doctors' offices have long hallways, right? So you walk up and down the hallway just to see if you're swinging your arms. They check your facial expressions because people with Parkinson's don't have facial expressions, or they lack facial expressions.
Uh-huh.
And then they give you cognitive tests. Like they'll tell you like 3 to 5 words, and then at the beginning of the appointment, and then they'll tell you recite those 3 to 5 words.
shoot, I would fill
Oh,
that.
we
one.
gotta
Yeah,
fill
I'd
that.
fill that
I
in a
know.
hot minute. Yeah.
Lately, I'll feel that.
Yeah.
I think we're too old for remember words already.
Yeah. But that's basically what most of it entails, and so it's a pure clinical
So it's not a brain
diagnosis.
scan or anything like that.
No,
Oh.
no. You can.
Kyle always goes to the worst possible
Oh,
thing that could
Yeah,
happen.
it's like, the MRI kind of thing and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It wasn't anything to do with
No,
like,
no. I mean, some people do get MRIs and DAT scans, but I think the issue with those things is that a lot of times they're not covered by insurance.
oh.
That's the other thing. Like, is how much of Parkinson's is covered by insurance? I mean, has it been a struggle to get people to recognize it and say, okay, we're gonna cover this thing. Because until my dad got his designation as a veteran, it it was all falling on my parents. Like, they were gonna have to pay for everything. And the idea that, you gotta buy the moving bed, you gotta buy all this stuff, it was like, okay. So I can't imagine what it would be like for someone in our area, like, somebody like John. We have okay insurance, but it's not awesome.
Does your organization help people through that type too? Those things like the insurance or what they can get, as far as needs and stuff provided for them?
Unfortunately, no. We don't have the. We're an all volunteer organization,
Okay.
so I mean, we don't have the facility or the capacity to do social services that in depth. I will say that the most recent study done by Michael J. Fox Foundation found that in 2019 the cost of Parkinson's to Hawaii's economy was $252 million in terms of lost wages, whether it's the caregiver or the person themselves, medication, hospital stays, tests, all those things. $252 million. And nationwide, it was $52 billion.
Jeez.
Just for Parkinson's alone. Wow. So, in terms of medication, my medication is covered by insurance, and that's good. But, they have a patch that you can wear that I wear on me that gives me like a steady stream of dopamine, kind of like a nicotine patch kind of deal. Mm-hmm. If you look at, no one reads the fine print, but if you look at the fine print on the medication label, the retail cost for a 3-month supply is $3,000.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
So what I need to do is I need to use my insurance and then go to like the manufacturer's website, go to download those coupons that they give out, and it gets it down to $10 a month.
If you get too much dopamine in your body or that patch works overtime, how do you rest? I mean, does dopamine affect your sleep at some point too?
Yeah, so a lot of these medications also have a lot of side effects as well, and insomnia is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night, and I go downstairs, and my dad's like moving stuff around. And I'm going, "What are you doing?" And my dad traditionally would be sleeping at 8 o'clock at night because he's an old guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hell?" And he just, his brain would just continue to move. Yeah. There was something happening, and I was tripping out. But one of the other things that was different about his diagnosis or his thing was he didn't experience, like you were saying, he didn't experience the tremors. Mm-hmm. What he had was these weird fluttering sensations he said it was like a fluttering sensation in his body, and he couldn't get rid of it, and he didn't know what it was, and it was freaking him out. And so when they said he had Parkinson's, he was like, "Well, but I don't know this." And they're like, "Yeah, but that's not all there is," and that's what you were mentioning, right?
Right. That fluttering inside of it is actually an internal tremor.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's of all the motor symptoms of Parkinson's is probably one of the worst ones, because I mean, for most part, most people can handle the shaking.
Yeah.
I rarely get tremors myself. Only when my medication stops working.
Yeah.
Or, I mean that's pretty much it. But, the internal tremor is really frustrating for.
Does it just feel like it? Because he was trying to describe it to me, and I just kind of went, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I honestly don't know what it feels like because I've never had it.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, he said it was like this weird butterfly thing, like something was just vibrating
I've heard it
beneath the surface,
something like that. Yeah.
And it just doesn't stop, and you can't,
relax.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a relaxing thing. It just feels like this. Sorry if you're not watching on the cable, but my hands are kind of doing tremors. But yeah, it was interesting because we meet other people who had Parkinson's, and like you were saying, everybody has something different.
Yeah.
Some people have the really strong tremors. Some people don't have any tremors at all. Like for you, if it weren't for the fact that you move with intention and rather, you know what I mean? Like you're very specifically moving in space, I would not think that you had Parkinson's. But as you talk about it, I go, oh yeah, wow. So it's remarkable to see you, especially because you're is this 5 years? No, gosh, you're like 7 years in
7
already.
years in, yeah.
Yeah. And by and large, like, you know, you can get up and talk in front of a bunch of people and say, "Hi, I have Parkinson's," and they'll go, "No, you don't."
Yeah.
So
And I've done that. Yeah, I've given speeches in front of 100 people on Zoom, in front of about 150 people, and you know, I was the MC for weddings before I had Parkinson's, and I was the MC for or I would give eulogy to funerals, or or moderate panels and all those things. When I first got diagnosed, all that went away because I just didn't want to be in front of people, standing in front of people and talking like this, just. But the more I got into the exercise part of it, it unlocked everything for me. So really, I owe everything to the exercise program.
Oh.
So do you try to run every day about 20 minutes? I mean, what is the regimen? Like if this morning when you woke up, because do you do it in the morning? You do it at night? Is it?
I do it in the mornings. Yeah, most people with Parkinson's, your gas tank is full in the mornings,
Okay.
and then it kind of depletes throughout the day. But yeah, for the most part, I exercise in the morning. Try to lift a little bit. Try to do things. Most of the things I do right now is specific for my softball playing, because I'm still playing softball.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, not very well. My teammates will.
That's okay.
My teammates are listening, watching this.
Probably
like,
better than the three of us.
No, I know. Yeah, I would not be doing very well either.
Probably runs better than all of
Yeah,
us do.
I know.
I don't know the last time I ran.
Well, what position do you play softball?
I usually play infield.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
like
that's-
second base.
Yeah, that's you got to move for that.
Yeah.
And I played outfield here and there. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow, that's amazing.
I have one silly question, and then I have a serious question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my silly question first because it just thought. So as these guys have joked, so I'm joking, but kind of serious. I play Fortnite. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a video game.
It's like
At
admitting
night.
you're an alcoholic or
I
something.
know, jeez.
And, no, but it's a first
My name
person
is
shooter
John,
game.
and I play
Okay.
Fortnite.
I've heard of it, John.
Okay. And but it's a lot of like really fast decision making because guys are jumping and they're shooting at you and you have to turn and shoot and run around and all that kind of stuff.
That's not
And-
exercise, though. Yeah,
I know it's not
Okay,
exercise, but I'm just saying, if would you have a hard time, or would someone with Parkinson's have a hard time? Because it's a reactionary thing, right? So if you started slowing down and you notice like, oh man, I'm getting killed all the time because I can't react to these things, wouldn't that be a symptom or something that could be affected by this? Is that
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, your decision making, your cognitive skills, they do go into decline. And that's the other thing about Parkinson's, is that it mimics symptoms of getting older.
right?
So the only thing that really differentiates between getting older and Parkinson's is tremors.
Oh.
So if you think about it, moving slower, we all move slower as we get older. Your brain, you forget things. You start searching for words more often.
Because I mean,
happens
like
for me on
already
a regular
with
basis.
the Fortnite stuff, like when I watch my son play the game, I don't even know what the hell he's doing because he's moving so fast and doing things and stuff. Like his mind
Which is why you die all the time.
yeah,
right?
which is why I die. all
So
the time.
your
So,
Fortnite play is getting you concerned now?
no, I'm
That-
just saying. Well, I was on fire last night, so I'm not concerned about nothing. I was taking dudes down.
Well, congratulations on that.
So it's good, but there are nights where I'm like, man, I'm just not reacting. Like I'm just off, maybe I'm tired or whatever. So, okay, so that was just a kind of a silly quip, but I mean, I thought that's relevant because it's something that your mind, and you have to think fast, and your brain has to tell your hands to move
It's
quickly.
age, though.
Yeah, it
you
is
know?
age. Yeah, I know for this. Okay.
Yeah. So one thing that I do with my clients when I train them is we always end with like some cognitive work. So I have what's called blaze pods. They're like reactionary like lights and kind of like playing whack-a-mole. So basically, there's like four to six different lights, and then they light up, and I tell them, okay, if you see a red light, hit it with your right hand. If you see a blue light, hit it with your left hand.
Oh.
You know, and then I'll have them do alternating hands. Yeah, just a lot of different.
So even like
things
instrument
that.
stuff too, right? Would be good, like drumming and things like that.
Drumming is especially good.
Yeah.
For people with Parkinson's. Yeah.
Good that you picked up the drums.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I'm ready. My
Yeah.
wife's not very happy, but I am.
But then my last question in my head is, you know, they're coming up with these like brain chip implants and things like that they're trying to recircuit the brain to fire when these dopamine hits are not coming. Any word on how that's coming along, or do you follow that at all?
So there is a surgery that can be done called deep brain stimulation, or DBS, and it's been around for a number of
Michael
years.
J. Fox had it done, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the first people to do
brain
it.
stimulation.
Yeah. So basically, what they do is they implant 2 electrodes into your brain
Mm-hmm.
in a specific area that controls the movements and so forth. They bring it down the wires down into your chest, and then they implant a device, kind of like a pacemaker.
Mm.
And then that sends electric signals into your brain, and it fires off. So what it does is it helps to control your movements if you have tremors.
Isn't Elon doing something like that too with Neuralink?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Neuralink thing, where basically you're just taking a microchip, implanting it in the brain, and when your brain is telling your muscle to fire, you know, there's a disconnect, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's
So
connected.
it's connecting, it's shooting
So
the.
very similar to what he
Yeah.
just said. There,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's more for people with like stroke, you know, paralysis and stuff like that. But I wonder if it would work for this too. By the way, I thought I heard Jax the dog get down here somehow. I believe. Okay.
But yeah, so they have that, and then now with AI, so before your doctor had to manually reset it, or like if it wasn't working so well for you, you can, you know, it's connected via Bluetooth, and you can change the settings on it to where it works out better for you. But now with AI, they have adaptive DBS now, so the AI component of it automatically modulates the frequency to be optimal for you based upon what it's reading.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
That must be expensive though, yeah, to get it done.
Yeah, just a
I
little.
don't think insurance is gonna cover that, right?
No, it's not gonna cover it. It's good to be a rich guy like Michael J. Fox because you can get it done.
Well, but I mean, just
Oh,
in
and by the
general.
way, it was not the dog. That is Dave.
Yeah. I
Oh,
thought
they.
it was Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
He says there's no
Power.
light and power,
Oh,
and he's
yeah,
really
yeah,
hot,
yeah.
so he came downstairs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't mind Dave hanging down here.
You know what I wanted to ask you is, previously, you know, you were very involved with sports and UH and ESPN and all this kind of stuff. Then you worked with ADs, and you're on the sidelines at a bunch of UH sports games and all that kind of stuff. Is there one memorable moment in UH or working with these people that you remember that was special to you at that time?
Yeah. So probably when football team went 12-0.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
beating Boise State in the championship game, I can remember being in our storage room underneath Aloha Stadium, and we had WAC championship T-shirts that had UH's logo on it, and had a box for Boise. So my counterpart from Boise, he and I were down there, and I said, okay, so you know, if you guys win, then you know we'll help you guys take all these shirts out and get them over to you and so forth. And then when it became evident that we were gonna win, I mean, it was like this just wave of euphoria, just
yeah.
you know, just hits you. And then so that's the first memory, and then the second
Did
memory.
he help you with
I know.
Yeah, did it help you to pass out the shirts?
No,
That
No.
game was amazing, though.
No,
that whole
yeah.
season was amazing.
They were off to Waikiki already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second part of that was being down 21-0 to Washington in that
Same season.
the same season,
Yeah.
the final game, right? Because had they lost that game, they would have gone to the Hawaii Bowl.
Oh,
They had to still beat Washington that game
To get
to
invited
get
to
invited to the
BCS.
BCS. Yes. Yeah.
Did you go?
Yes.
How was that experience?
That was an experience. So we
Were you with ESPN or UH at that
I was
time?
at UH.
UH. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I actually had a role because what we did was we passed out Mardi Gras beads. Yeah. So
That must have been fun.
yeah, I mean 12 hours of handing out Mardi Gras beads to people. I mean, but it was fun because there's so many people who went to great lengths to get there.
Yeah.
We were fortunate. We were on the charter, so it was really fortunate to get that transportation. But
My friend went to a nightmare just to get there.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
tickets were already waiting for him. He just had to find a way to get there.
Yeah.
And he jumped all over the U.S. to finally get
Oh,
That was
to
nightmare
where-
scenario, man.
Yeah.
that
So-
game, that Boise game, my friend James, he, how, like when they won, everyone ran the field, right?
Yep.
So he ran onto the field and he somehow ended up on someone's shoulders, and then he was on the front page of the newspaper, like he was on the team or something.
Right
I was
on.
like, oh man. So we saved a bunch of the newspapers because front page, that's pretty good. I mean, back then there was actual still newspapers, right? Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of UH, thank you to UH for actually not making pay-per-view on the games. Which
Yeah, Kyle was
is-
telling me that.
I don't know how they got that to happen. Like, is somebody paying the extra money or?
How do you think they got that to happen?
Well, I think pay-per-view is gonna go away next year anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
But just for Hawaii's contract.
Just for Hawaii's contract.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it makes a lot of sense in the world to not have it this year, because what it does is that it's gonna set up the fact that people want to go to the games are going to go to the games.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does is it opens up the audience it opens up a bigger audience for people who don't want to pay the pay-per-view rates. So it'll benefit advertisers more. It'll benefit
Attendance.
UH.
Well, I mean, not attendant, but like people watching. Just
Well, it could actually benefit attendance because maybe there's people who've never watched a UH game before. UH wins a game, and let's say they beat Stanford in the first game, and they get excited. They say, "Hey, let's go!" It looks like a fun atmosphere down there.
And also, I think Coach Chang was saying that it reaches a broader audience because we're the last game to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people don't have anything else to do but watch a UH football game.
Right. Well, on the East Coast and on the mainland, that last game of the day has a different connotation for it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, very cool.
All right. Okay, Glenn, we are at this point of this podcast. So we are technically on a music channel. So we do have one music question. And that is, if you were stranded on a desert island for all of eternity and could only bring 3 albums with you to listen to for all time, what would those 3 albums be?
Huh.
You can look up here if you want.
Then let's see. I'll go with Prince, Purple Rain.
Oh,
good
nice.
choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
Devon. Yeah.
Very
Okay.
good.
Earth, Wind and Fire, Greatest Hits,
Oh, nice.
Okay.
and
Earth, Wind and Fire just did something like a Lollapalooza or something, like with Sabrina Carpenter. So it was kind of a weird.
They came out and played. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was unusual.
and my third one. Probably I would say Brothers Casimiro, Hoala.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a nice
Is
one.
that
Yeah.
all up there? On the right?
No.
No,
Oh, it's
no.
not.
Koala has the beach on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, but Brothers Casimiro albums, you know them by the picture on
Yeah.
the cover
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
album.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's Koala. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for
you.
all that
Yeah.
you do.
Thank you for telling your story. Really
I learned
learned
a lot.
today, man.
Yeah. I really did not know much at all. I know Devon has gone through this, and even this family here,
Yeah.
and so it's good to know these kind of things. And we can find you at. We can find the association at. Sorry.
ParkinsonsHawaii.org.
Okay, and we'll put it all in the description as well.
Okay, great.
So thanks for coming in, and for everybody else, we will see you all next week.
Take care.